Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dani and welcome to a new video. Back in March of this month, I decided to pick up running as a form of cardio for me because typically I do a lot of strength training and I just don't get enough opportunities to get cardio in. So my main goal this year was to be able to run with ease, not let it affect me mentally, and just be able to go out there and just kill miles on miles, okay? So as my journey progressed, I was able to put out my video on just how to start running, a few tips and tricks that I learned along my journey that was helpful to some of you. So now that I feel like I have a lot of the basics down, as far as knowledge at least, I wanted to sit down and make this video letting you guys know how I'm training and prepping to run a 5K that I plan to do end of October/November. So if you guys are interested in getting to know some tips and tricks that I'm doing along my journey that might help you and just have open communication around running in general, then keep on watching. Okay, so as I mentioned, I am training myself to be a runner from scratch. Okay, I have no background experience. I did run track a little bit in high school. That was 10 years ago, so that literally doesn't count. But for the most part, I've always just had a negative perception of running. I just always felt like I could never be a runner, no matter how much I was in the gym, no matter how healthy, fit I thought I was. If you were to put me on a track, if you were to tell me to run a mile, I would literally cry, faint, pass out, all of the above. And I just felt like as an adult, that just shouldn't be my reality anymore. I think mentally we inhibit ourselves from doing a lot of things that we are very well capable of. So one of my goals this year that I set was just to be able to run with ease, okay? And honestly, I'm just so happy because, as I mentioned, my journey began in March, I would say mid-end March, and we are in September now, and I can comfortably run about 3.5 miles, and it just feels so good and so liberating to know where I started and to understand where I'm at now, and to just continue to push and prepare for the goals that I have for the future. Now, do I want to be an avid runner, a marathoner, things like that? I'm not too sure. I think personally, I just want to be able to go outside, especially on a cool fall day, and just run, okay? With music playing, a podcast, just the things that we see in movies, right? Things that we romanticize about running. That's just what I've always envisioned myself doing, and I'm just so happy that I'm able to do that now. Of course, I still have a lot to learn, but I've learned a lot along the way. So here are just a few tips that I can give you guys if you are on a similar journey as me. So first, when it comes to building endurance, it's really just a matter of just pushing yourself little by little every day. I first started off not even being able to run a mile, you guys. I would run 2 laps on the track and get winded and just walk the rest, or just be so defeated that I would go home. And that was just what I did probably 5 days a week until I felt comfortable running a mile. And even when I ran my mile, I think my mile was probably like 11 minutes. And eventually I got it down to about 8 minutes and 50 seconds. And that's like my mile PR as it stands. But to be able to go from just running 2 laps to finally being able to run a mile in itself was a big deal for me, given once again my perception about running, right? Fast forward from there, once I realized I could run a mile, I just kept going and just tried to see how much I could run. Every day I just try to push myself a little bit further. Of course, some days I just wasn't feeling it, and if I wasn't feeling it, I would just go to the gym, okay? My game plan initially started off just by being able to go to the track. I have a track that's close to me, so I go to a track, probably just try to get as much running in as I can. I typically set at least a goal of a mile, but in my mind, my goal was really 3 miles, but I knew I had to obviously get through them one by one before getting to the bigger goal. So just trying to push myself every day and getting out there even when I didn't want to, even when I feel like quitting, even when I just feel like throwing up, being sick. Training myself to just be able to physically go on a track and just run those 4 laps really assisted me in training my mental, because a lot of times with running we can push so much more than we think we can. We just discourage ourselves mentally, and then we stop and we just let that be our reality, and it's really damaging. It's just not conducive to our growth, right? Just in any area of our lives. So first, getting through that mental blockage and building endurance was my biggest step that I had to work through, and over time I became more comfortable. I was finally able to leave a track and start doing road running and trail running, and that's the phase I'm in now. And honestly, I understood every step as it was, and I didn't try to rush it too much. There were some days where even at the beginning I was able to run maybe like 2.5 miles, and then for the next week I couldn't run those 2.5 miles again. Like I still felt like I was starting from the ground up. So I just want to let you guys know that it's going to be a cycle, and you're going to have some highs, you're going to have some lows, you're going to have some days where you feel like you can run 5 miles, right? And then you'll get out there and you'll in reality maybe run 1.5, and that's just what it is. But the main goal is to just continue going, because you are capable of doing so much more and running so much more than you think you are. Just train your brain. It's all here. I promise you, it's all here. And the second tip is extremely important, but something that I failed to prioritize at the beginning was training your breath, like breath work and breathing while you're running. Right now, I can run, but I am hyperventilating, and it's terrible because everyone around me can hear me, but for me, I feel so proud to be able to just run that I don't let it affect me too much. But in retrospect, I should have done so much more work on just controlling my breath and understanding how to breathe when I was especially going those slower paces. So I 100% recommend that you use your resources that are out there. I'll include a video on the screen of something that I've been using recently that I saved on TikTok. I believe she used to be in the army. This is how she was trained to run. So it's something that I'm trying to implement myself because I really think it'll help me.
I want to share with you all a running tip that they taught us in the army. So basically it was to breathe along with the cadence of the steps that we're taking. And of course, you know, in the military, everything is on the left foot, right? So now the way the cadence goes verbally, it's like when that left foot hits the ground, and then you repeat it back. All I want to hear is that huh sound. Now the huh sound is you breathing out, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you all while I'm running. Like, I've been out of the army for a long time, so people that are still in, if the cadence doesn't go like this anymore, if y'all don't do this anymore, you know, I ain't got nothing to say about that because I'm not in anymore. I've been out for like over 10 years now. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you all. Like I said, I'm kind of hard-headed, so I don't do it all the time, but I was doing it on this one today, and I'm like, you know what, this really works. So let me go ahead. All right. So if you can hear, I'm taking like a deep breath in, but I'm breathing out twice on that deep breath. So let me do it again. Because I'm taking a deep breath, I have enough breath to breathe out twice. So yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.
Additionally, you just have to make sure to close your mouth and breathe through your nose, which for me is very difficult to grasp, but like everything, it just takes practice. So over time, I know it'll get better, but for now, all it's gonna take is just a little bit of work. So that's something I really want to emphasize. Just make sure to prioritize your breath work and learning how to breathe, especially if you're going to be running long distances. The third tip that I want to mention, and just the point in general, is just having the proper tools, gear, technology, all of that, just to get out there and perform your best. So of course, it all starts with sneakers and your choice of running shoes. If you watch my vlogs, or if you watched that previous video, you'll know that I've kind of been testing out different sneakers based off of my running shoe preference. I have a bit of a wider foot, and I do really like shoes with a lot of cushioning because I feel like it helps with buoyancy, but everyone's foot is different. Everyone has their own concerns and preferences when it comes to running, so it's always recommended to go to like a running shoe store or an athletic store and get your shoe properly sized, and they'll give you recommendations based off the dimensions of your foot of different sneakers that would work best for you. And then from there, you can go and kind of try out different sneakers and see what ultimately ends up working the best for you. Currently, I'm still in the process of trying different sneakers. Right now, the sneaker that's on my radar is the New Balance SC sneakers. I'll insert a picture here, but I've been doing a lot of research. It was recommended to me, and I've just been trying to first get comfortable running versus focusing too much on the shoe. Now that I feel more comfortable just being out there and running, I feel like now it's a great time to really try different shoes and see which is more comfortable, which just feels the best, which helps me perform the best in general. So don't focus too much on the shoe initially, just focus on getting yourself comfortable being out there. But as you do become more comfortable, then definitely try to find the perfect shoe for you, because that'll absolutely help with your performance. And then when it comes to tools, technologies, all of that, I actually don't run with AirPods anymore. I switched over to the JBL in-ear headphones. I'll insert a picture up here, of course, but I honestly was just tired of getting sweat in my earbuds, and I felt like it was damaging them. And to know that I basically damaged my AirPods, a $200 product, simply because of sweat, it's a bit hard to process, but it's okay. Once I realized that it just was getting bad, I decided to just purchase a $20 pair of headphones that does the same job, okay? When you're running, your music shouldn't be super, super loud anyway, so I really like those headphones because they're comfortable, they wrap around your ear, as I mentioned, you don't have to worry about them falling out, and they don't really stick in your eardrums, so you still can potentially hear the things around you. You can control the headphone settings, you can up the volume, change songs, just like you would on an AirPod. So I'll link those below because they've been really helpful, and for $20, I'm living my best life, honestly, and I don't have to worry about damaging my AirPods in the process. So those are the headphones. And then I'll never stop raving about getting a sweatband. Once again, there's so many out there. I mentioned a few in my first video, so I'll link some below as well. I prefer a really wide sweatband because as a black girl, I gotta protect my edges, and then I also wanna just protect the front of my hair anyways. So I find that those work really well for me. And also the density of my hair is high, so just having a thick protective sweatband really just gets that all out of the way and holds the sweat, so I don't have to worry about having anything falling down my face, because honestly that would really bother me and I would just stop running altogether, honestly. So I'm glad that sweatbands do what they do, because when you run you sweat a lot, so having the extra protective layer just really assists with my performance overall for sure. In addition to sweatband, I personally love running compressive tops and shorts. I hate being hot, so typically I'll find myself just running in a sports bra and shorts, but I love like just having this shirt in case you don't want to throw it on. The combination of a compression top and shorts just works really well for me. Of course, just wear whatever you're comfortable with. This top is actually part of a set. It's Cuban Fit. I am a brand ambassador for them, and they make amazing athleisure wear. If you love colors, if you love comfort, they last super long. I have this set in probably like 6-7 colors at this point, so 100% recommend them. I wear them once a week minimum, and I wash them weekly, so I go through these shirts multiple times and the quality does not change at all. Once again, come in super fun colors, super stretchy, very cute. It's thick. It's not like the other shirts that you might see. Extremely sweat absorbent. Can hardly ever see where the sweat accumulates on the shirt, so I really love that. Shameless plug. Of course, I'll link it down below, but I truly believe in this brand and I love wearing these shirts on my runs, because the better you look, the more you want to get out there and get those miles in. So I think it all works in tandem. So yeah, definitely make sure to look your best so you can feel your best. Additionally, I can't rave about having some type of device to track your calories burnt, your heart rates, your distance enough. So I have an Apple Watch. This is actually a Generation 1 Apple Watch. This is like the first series that ever came out, and I still have it years later and it works fine, because I solely use it to track my activity, but I basically wear it every day, and honestly it still works fine, and I'm happy because it's happy. There's so much technology out there in the fitness industry. So there's also Whoop bands, if you're familiar with that, similar to an Apple Watch, but it doesn't have a screen, but it tracks so much more than Apple Watch ever will, and it's way more accurate is what I realized. They also have Aura rings for women, so something a little bit more feminine, but once again is able to track so much more than an Apple Watch ever will be able to, and it links to an application on your phone. So numerous alternatives and technologies when it comes to staying on track during the journey, but I cannot recommend having some sort of tool enough, because it really helps. Additionally, having a waist bag or like a belt bag is really helpful just to carry your small belongings. Me personally, I typically tend to run outside on trails, so at the least I'll have my phone and my keys with me, but sometimes I'll have my headphone case. I like to carry some chapstick, so I had definitely carry a waist bag just to carry small necessities, and everything will be linked on the screen, of course, my favorite brands, things like that. But I want to emphasize that the small things really help when it comes to running, because I feel like for me, when I'm out there, I just want to be free, okay? I just want to run, not worry about things, hair out of my face. So anything I can do to assist me in just feeling more comfortable while running, I'm going to do that. And these various items that I mentioned help immensely with that. Of course, I would highly recommend some shaving cream if your thighs tend to touch whenever you are running, because it will really help not have any type of friction or burn on your thighs. And then also getting some good athletic socks, because they have that extra cushioning that typical day-to-day socks don't have. So all of this will just help for extra comfort when you're out there. And I think that as detailed as this list might be, just once again, the small details really matter. The next tip I have for you when training for your 5K is, in addition to having a device that tracks your progress, also get some type of application on your phone that can help motivate you throughout your runs. My go-to is the Nike Run Club app for so many reasons. Not only does the app track your runs, helps you set goals, they also have guided runs, so they have someone literally speaking to you through your headphones in your ear, motivating you as you are going about your run. Specifically me, like I said, I'm training for a 5K, so there is a guided run specifically for my 5K. I will mention though that they do talk a lot. So if you're one of those people who like to run in silence, or you're really good at motivating yourself, The guided run might not be the best for you because they really do try to talk a lot, just speaking motivation to you. So, you know, pros and cons when it comes to that, but definitely give it a try because you might find that it's more helpful than you think. But I cannot rave about the Nike Run Club app enough. You can share your progress with your friends. I think you can collab in there as well. Possibilities are endless when it comes to apps. So definitely use that app because it does a really good job of tracking your runs. And I would say it's a little bit more accurate than your Apple Watch when it comes to tracking your heart rate, calories burned, things like that. I'm not sure the technology, but I would say it's pretty good technology. So Nike Run Club, free app, download it on your phone, and it links with your Apple Watch almost immediately. So they work really well together. And the next tip is really just getting out there and running with people. I'm not saying go full-fledged and go join a run club if you're not ready to. However, there's no way that you would join something like a run club and your time wouldn't like decrease immediately. Like having people around you that motivate you, it's just going to get you to run those miles a little bit faster, push a little harder, drive a little deeper. And that's the ultimate goal when you have a goal like running a race, right? And just even in your personal life, if you're just running for your own pleasure, I think it's just always good to get better at something once you have the basic skills down. So I would definitely say that for me, one of the things that I'm doing right now is I typically run alone during the week, but at least once or twice a week I try to run on a busy path that has a lot of people that pass by. So essentially I kind of treat different people like obstacles. So I'll find myself trying to pass people just because I want to, and in a way that helps cut my times down. So definitely find a way to start running around people and or with people, because this is the best way to not only build community around an activity that you hopefully are enjoying doing, right? But it also just helps you push deeper, go harder, and really achieve those goals that you have set out. And that's something that I'm leaning into 100% right now because I need all the help I can get. But yeah, y'all, that's it for most of my tips. I just want to say that right now, like I said, it is September. I have about 2 more months before I am set to run my race. And currently, you know, I have my ups and downs still. I try to run a 5K about every other day. So maybe 4 to 5 times a week per se. And then at least one day a week, I try to run around and or with people. So that definitely helps getting those times down in general. My biggest challenge right now is working on my breath work. That's something, as I mentioned, I didn't prioritize in the beginning, so I'm kind of having to work backwards and really implement those skills, because that is essentially like the base of running, and that's what's going to help me to flow better in general. So definitely something I'm still working on. My fastest 5K to date, because I want to be transparent with y'all, is 31 minutes and 10 seconds, with my average pace being 10 minutes and 1 second. Okay, so my goal for my race is to run a 27-minute 5K. So that's the goal. I think my biggest issue right now is that I'm getting winded on my last mile. So I have to find different ways to really, you know, stay the course, keep my pace consistent as I run the whole thing, and know that I am capable of doing it, right? Like 27 minutes to me right now sounds a bit like a goal for sure, but it's very doable. And that's what I have to remind myself as I continue to run regularly. So yeah, you guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you guys as you are embarking or just continuing on your journey as I am. I'll definitely make sure to keep you guys posted on my progress, and as I continue to have new tips and tricks, I'll let you guys know. Let me know in the comments below if you're on a similar journey as me. Make sure to check out my first video centered around just how to start running in general and what you may need. Make sure to check out the rest of my channel in general, just for any content regarding health, beauty, fashion, just all the above. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.
I gave you taste of my love, fact I've been standing there for you. Girl, you saw the work that I got, I could be holding back from you.